The decision I made was the best decision that I've made in a long, long time. I think not just for my business, but for me personally, for my family, for everything. I mean, it was just to continue. Once I started the sort of AVN journey, if you like, which let me believe, I'm right at the beginning of this. I still believe there's a long way to go forward on this. My profits are up by about 30%. I'm working less hours. Each day actually has a finish time, if you like, leaving me time to spend it with my son and my partner. I had 2 weeks off at Christmas, which I can't remember the last time I had a 2 week period off. As well as since Christmas, I've started training again and lost 16 pounds in weight so far. Having the motivation back and the time and the actual time to do these things. So I can't, from my own personal experience, I can't thank AVN enough. The guidance, the helping the confidence come back, if you like, and the huge resource of documents that are available, so you don't have to build everything yourself. I just can't think that, for anyone looking who's been in a bit of a rut, who's looking on the best way to move forward, don't be afraid or ashamed to sort of reach out for help, because it isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength, looking out and saying, look, how can I make my life better? How can I improve things for me, my family? And that's where AVN has come in for me. And it's been absolutely fantastic. Phil Grafton, I set my practice up 11 years ago in South Wales, near Cardiff. I work just myself. I have around 60 plus clients at the moment, and I'm looking to grow. I joined AVN back in July, and prior to that, I had one main client, which was very time consuming, taking up majority of my day, probably 9-10 hours a day. The more I did, the more they wanted me to do other bits and pieces. It wasn't what I wanted to be doing. Every day it was a groundhog day. Every day was the same, and I couldn't get time off. The phone would be going on late in the evenings, weekends. Even when I wasn't working, my head would still be on work. So it was the only way to describe it. I just felt like I was in a rut. I couldn't see my way out, to be honest. And then obviously we had lockdown as well. But yeah, it just felt every day was the same. It never really felt like I was achieving anything. Never really felt, well, I wasn't enjoying it. If someone emailed, I'd be looking to try and get an email back to them, and it got to the point where I think the latest call I had from a client was 10 to 12 at night. And I'm thinking, well, how can how can I continue like this, if you see what I mean? And I constantly felt under pressure. And to be honest, I was ready to walk away from the whole profession. I'd had enough. Then in June last year, my son's mother passed away, not COVID related, but she passed away at the age of 35, which was tough, especially as I needed to look after my boy, make sure that he was okay. So decided that pretty much from then on, I decided previously I needed to change things, but it was kind of the push that I needed to say, look, things have got to change because it can't carry on like this. I think my main concerns originally were when I joined AVN was, one, the cost. After walking away from 80% of my income to then sort of have another outlay, that was a concern. And then my other concern was, one, being honest enough with people to say, look, I feel like I haven't achieved, or I failed at what I've been doing, if you like, and to sort of open up to allow people in to help. But then also the fear of just the unknown, I suppose, of bringing someone into my practice to sort of help me get things right, and whether it would be money well spent, or whether, or was it another way of just building up my day to more and more things to do, without generating any income and having a cost to it as well. But that, to be honest, I felt that I was in such a rut that I had to do something to change what I was doing. Otherwise, if I carry on doing the same thing, I'm going to get the same results. That's what kept going through my head. So I had to change something. And I felt that after talking to yourself and talking and looking at AVN, that was a chance. And I thought, well, when I first took it on, give it 3 months and see how it goes. If in 3 months it's not working, it's a bit of money lost, and hopefully not too much, and then I can crack on and move forward a different way. I was helped by my PGE to sort of move forward. Joanne has been absolutely fantastic, giving you back confidence to move forward, guiding you, not necessarily not telling you at all, but guiding you in the ways that you're explaining to them or to her. She would help me through this. So it's definitely the best decision I've made. I mean, even to the point of having time to train, getting to the point of having that time just to train when I didn't feel that I should be sat emailing people or phoning people or sitting doing a set of accounts or anything along those lines. And then to actually have 2 weeks off at Christmas and feel that I could sit there and take 2 weeks off was massive. I mean, it was, probably in 10 years, I think I can remember one other 2-week holiday that I've had. So it's never been something I've been able to do or felt able to do. One of the big things that I think has come from this is I leave my phone in my office. And actually in the evenings, my mobile phone isn't attached to me. I may go and check on it occasionally, but that's it. Whereas before it would be with me 24/7, and with it just the whole rationale of my life just seemed to change over a period of time. It wasn't a quick a click of fingers and there it goes. As I've gone through the course with Joanne, and things I've tried to put in place so that the business works for me rather than me slugging away for the business, which has made a big difference. But it's having the confidence to do that. So I can't thank AVN enough, and would highly recommend them to everybody, basically.
Phil, what can I say? Thank you very much. Clearly heartfelt, and as I said, wonderful to hear. So thank you very much.
No, thank you. It's been a pleasure so far, and I'm looking forward to carrying on.